Like and subscribe right now, or you're gonna have terrible luck for the next week. Asia is home to many beautiful cultures and people, and unsurprisingly, their animal collection is something to be marveled at. They've got snakes, bears, and even giant hornets that'll make you scream like a kid as we take you across the vast continent of Asia in this video. Stretching from the deserts of the Middle East to the steamy jungles of Southeast Asia and reaching northwards to the Arctic Circle, there are dangerous animals for all tastes. Make sure to stick around for a group of snakes called the Big Four, which terrorize the continent of Asia. Number 10. Komodo Dragon. If the name Komodo Dragon doesn't make you think twice, then perhaps you should know that this animal will eat anything, including you. Komodo dragons can be found in the harsh climate of Indonesia's Lesser Sunda Islands. Komodo dragons are the largest living lizards in the world, and they are identified by their massive size, flat heads, bowed legs, and thick, long tails. Some people call them land crocodiles, and they might very well be right. Male Komodos can grow to be as long as over 8 or even 9 feet, but they sometimes grow as long as 10 feet. Females grow as long as 6 feet. I actually used to admire the Komodo dragons for just how majestic they look, but that was before I learned about how they hunt. They use the power of bacteria. How? Well, if you're lucky and manage to escape after a bite, you're not entirely free, as its bite contains a strain of bacteria that is very harmful to both animals and humans. These gigantic lizards are also very determined and will patiently wait out their prey until it's weakened and too destabilized to move. Then they chase it, eat out the throat, and wait for it to bleed out while they catch up on the latest gossip going around the wild islands of Gili Motang, Gili Dasami, Komodo, Rinca, and Flores. You do not want to be on the receiving end, my friend. Number 9. Fattail Scorpion. Well, this one isn't rocket science. The name says it all. This is a scorpion that has a fat tail. Great, that's it. Thanks for watching. Just kidding, but this scorpion really is something to marvel at, and it all starts with that wonderful fat tail. There are several thousands of deaths every year that are related to scorpion stings. Scorpion stings cause potentially life-threatening neurotoxicity, with children particularly the majority of the victims. We all know how kids like to touch everything. The Fattail Scorpion is one of the most venomous scorpions on Earth that has been discovered. The thing can grow as long as 6 inches and comes in one major color scheme. They're usually dark brown or black with lighter brown or reddish pincers. They are widely considered the most dangerous scorpion species and occasionally referred to as the man killer. The venom of the fattail is a potent neurotoxin which is incredibly fast-acting. Death can occur in as little as a matter of hours after being stung, with respiratory paralysis being the cause. The only good news is that there is an effective antivenom, so if you happen to run into one of these suckers, you have a chance of surviving it. Number 8. Sharks. You don't need anyone to tell you that sharks are extraordinarily deadly and need to be left alone. However, the shark game in Asia is a lot scarier than anywhere else. All of the big 3 deadly shark species can be found in Asia's waters. The great white, tiger shark, and bull shark can all be found here. Despite this, the number of attacks in Asia is relatively low, with the official shark attack figures recording only 51 deaths since records began over 400 years ago. Hong Kong tops the list, and most of these attacks happened during a 4-year period in the early 1990s. 10 deaths were attributed to 1 or more tiger sharks in the waters of Sai Kung on the island's east coast. Another spot with a surprisingly high number of shark attacks is Iran, the shark capital of the Middle East. This is probably because of the prevalence of bull sharks that can be found in the Tigris River and estuaries. Remember, these sharks can tolerate fresh water too. The Philippines are home to all the world's deadliest sharks. Tigers, bull sharks, makos, and even great whites can all be found here. They just have it all, don't they? Number 7. Indian Rhinoceros. Rhinos are the tanks of the animal world. Big, heavy, powerful, armor-plated, and capable of inflicting big-time damage. The Indian rhinoceros is no exception and is ranked as the 5th largest animal on Earth, just behind the various elephant species. A big male rhino can weigh in excess of 4 tons and measure over 6 feet 2 meters at the shoulder. They aren't slow either, with a top speed of 35 miles an hour, nearly 60 kilometers an hour, and are surprisingly agile for such a big animal. It's often said that rhinos are bad-tempered, and to some extent this is true. Having poor eyesight makes these animals more likely to charge first and ask questions later. Being hit by an Indian rhino would be like getting hit by a truck with a horn on the front. There is virtually nothing a rhino won't have a go at. So before you say, "Ooh, it's a rhino," and try to approach it, you might need to think again. In fact, don't think about it. Just turn around and walk away. Number 6. Crocodiles. Asia is home to a variety of crocodiles, from the odd-looking gharial up to the deadliest of all, the saltwater crocs. Asia has a place for each and every one of them. Just looking at this big guy should leave you with no doubt that these are not animals you want or need to mess with or encounter. These are by far the biggest reptiles on Earth and haven't had to change much since prehistoric times. Armor-plated, surprisingly fast, both in and out of the water, and equipped with the most powerful bite of any living creature, crocodiles have a recorded bite force 10 times that of the great white shark. Crocs aren't fussy eaters, and by that, I mean they don't like to do a lot of work when it comes to feeding. They're opportunistic feeders, meaning they will eat almost anything that comes their way. The crocodile mode of hunting generally involves ambushing prey by waiting just below the surface or even out of the water. From here, they strike with lightning speed, clamping their jaws shut and dragging the victim into the water to drown. Number 5. Asian elephant. On size alone, the Asian elephant wins hands down. It doesn't even have to do anything. Just look at the size of that thing! Standing nearly 10 feet, 3 meters tall, and weighing up to almost 8 tons, these are the second largest animals on land. But hey, aren't they just big cuddly elephants that are friends? Well, yeah, most of the time. Despite their enormous size, elephants are generally shy and retiring by nature and will avoid confrontation with humans. There are, however, 2 situations in which elephants are best left well alone: must and when with their young. In their prime, male elephants experience a seasonal hormonal change known as must. When in must, a male elephant may have testosterone levels 60 times higher than usual. During this time, the bull elephant can become highly aggressive towards everything from other elephants to inanimate objects and humans. Female elephants can also be highly dangerous when they feel their young are threatened. So you might need to just steer clear. You wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of these big guys' anger. Number 4. Asian giant hornet. Asian giant hornets are called many frightening names, like yak killer hornets, giant sparrow bees, and Japanese giant hornets, for a good reason. These things are terrifying, and that's precisely why they're so far up this list. These supersized wasps can measure over 2 inches, 5 centimeters in length, and have a 1/4 inch, 6 millimeter long stinger. But it isn't just their size that makes them dangerous. The venom of the Asian giant hornet is also incredibly potent, containing a combination of cytotoxins and neurotoxins. Once they get into your system, the cytotoxins will cause tissue damage and pain, with one researcher describing the sensation as like a hot nail being driven into my leg. Doesn't sound fun, does it? The other toxin, the neurotoxins, specifically Mandara toxin, can be lethal in high enough doses, and that's not just if you're allergic to wasp stings. In Japan alone, 30 to 40 people a year are killed by giant hornet stings. That makes them Japan's deadliest animal by a long shot. In China, the story is similar, with over 40 deaths in the Shaanxi province in just 3 months. The official line here is if you get stung 10 or more times, seek medical help. If you get stung more than 30 times, you're in big trouble. Want my advice? Don't get stung. Number 3. Sloth Bear. Sloth bears are a funny-looking bunch. They have a slightly comical appearance, ungainly walk, and a diet consisting largely of insects. So why exactly do we think they're so dangerous? Well, you might be surprised to find out that the sloth bear is, in fact, one of the most feared animals in Asia. Many tigers will give them a wide berth, whilst elephants and rhinos actually actively dislike them and will charge them on sight. Standing at around 6 feet, 2 meters tall when upright, sloth bears can weigh in at up to 420 pounds, or 200 kilograms, for a big male. They're armed with very long, powerful, sickle-shaped claws which they use for digging termite mounds up. It's these claws that make them the Freddy Krueger of the animal world.
Now it's time for today's best pick.
This picture was sent in by a subscriber lucky enough to get featured. If you find any photos on the internet you might be interested in, make sure to send them over. Your picture might be our next best pick. Number 2. Hammerhead Bat. Also known as the hammer-headed fruit bat and the big-lipped bat, the hammer-headed bat is a large megabat with wingspans approaching 1 meter or about 3 feet, and males almost twice as heavy as females. Males and females also greatly differ in appearance, making it the most sexually dimorphic bat species in the world. These differences include several adaptations that help males produce very high-pitched vocalizations. They do that with the help of their large vocal cords, which are about 3 times as large as those of females. The males also have large resonating chambers on their faces. Females appear more like a typical megabat, with fox-like faces.
Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell, and you will get 25 years of amazing luck. Try it, it really works.
Number 1. Snakes. I'm going to start off here assuming that you know snakes are generally not the nicest or friendliest bunch to be friendly with. While Australia may be home to the most venomous snakes on Earth, there are actually only a handful of fatalities every year. The story is very different in Asia, with estimates ranging between 15,000 and 60,000 deaths every year as a direct result of snake bites. Can you imagine that? Most of these deaths occur in India, although Sri Lanka seems to be disproportionately affected by snakebite deaths. The main culprits in India and South Asia are collectively known as the Big Four: Brussels viper, saw-scaled viper, Indian cobra, and the common krait. While we're on the subject of snakes, let's not forget the constrictors too. Asia is home to the world's longest snake, the reticulated python. While you may think these aren't dangerous as you can buy one at a local pet shop, you'd be dead wrong. Asia really just got all the wonderfully terrifying animals, huh? This is the end of our video. Make sure to give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more amazing content from 100M. See you later.